Hi, I'm Andre and I'm a black nerd, and recently I did a video about the Animaniacs reboot, and I said this. And then I'm hoping that Tiny Toon Adventures gets a phone call, because Tiny Toon Adventures was cool too. Tiny Toon Adventures walked so Animaniacs can run. Okay? Oh my gosh! Thank you so much for checking out my channel. If you love geeky pop culture, both nostalgic and new, then make sure you are subscribed and ring that bell so you can be notified of future videos that I make. But today, I am so excited. I saw this on the Looney Tunes Instagram page, and that shows you how much I'm a fan of this stuff, that I follow the Looney Tunes Instagram page. But yes, Tiny Toon Adventures are coming back, revived at HBO Max and Cartoon Network. They are working together to bring Tiny Toons back. I am so happy about this because I am a huge fan of Tiny Toon Adventures. I was obsessed with this show when they first announced it. I remember seeing it in, I believe it was like a Bugs Bunny magazine that I got from like Pizza Hut or something. They were celebrating Bugs' anniversary with this special magazine, and that's where they had this whole interview with Steven Spielberg and the announcement of Tiny Toon Adventures, and they had like pictures of all the different Tiny Toons and what their characteristics were going to be like, and I just love the idea of it because it wasn't just let's turn the Looney Tunes into kids or babies like they were doing with so many other characters at the time. It was like, let's create a new generation for the 90s or Tiny Toons, these characters that are like the Looney Tunes, but just obviously modernized enough to be a little bit different and to relate to my generation. So you got Buster Bunny, Babs Bunny, Plucky Duck, Hampton, Go-Go Dodo, Montana Max, Elmira, Little Beeper, Calamity Coyote, Foul Mouth, Shirley the Loon, Fifi LaFume, Barky Marky. Did I mention that I am a huge Tiny Toons fan? So we're coming back with this brand new show. It's called Tiny Toons Looniversity, which is a great name for it. Acme Looniversity, of course, was the school that the Tiny Toons went to where they were taught by the Looney Tunes to become the next generation of cartoon superstars. We got this first image of Buster and Babs. I am loving that jacket that they put on Buster. It's a nice upgrade. Looks like Babs might have a little bit of a different outfit too, but they're not showing her full outfit yet. But yeah, man, I love the style that they have in this drawing. It's so good. Oh, I know it sounds crazy, man, but I really love Tiny Toon Adventures. Let's get into the story. Okay, I'm getting this story from Hollywood Reporter, by the way. Tiny Toons is returning nearly 30 years after wrapping its 3-season run. Babs, Buster Bunny, no relation, and the rest of the Tiny Toons gang are returning with a 2-season straight-to-series order for Tiny Toons Looniversity at both HBO Max and its WarnerMedia sibling, Cartoon Network. The new half-hour animated comedy will again be produced by Steven Spielberg and his Amblin Television. Thank you, Steven. Aaron Gibson from the Throwing Shade podcast will serve as showrunner and co-exec producer alongside Nate Cash from Adventure Time. Nice. Amblin's Daryl Frank and Justin Falvey will also exec produce alongside Spielberg. So just like with Animaniacs, Spielberg has got his hands in this too. You can't put his name on something without him putting the final approval on it. So just like with Animaniacs, this makes me very excited that Tiny Toons may have a little bit of an update, but also still had that same feel that we got before from the series that I enjoyed so much. The new series follows the Tiny Toons gang all the way to Acme Looniversity, the esteemed institution of higher hijinks learning, where young dreamers become professional toons. Here they form long-lasting friendships with one another and perfect their cartoony craft while studying under the greatest cartoon characters in history, the Looney Tunes. So that makes me happy because it seems like the Acme Looniversity premise that was in the original series is now going to be the focus of this series. They always went to Acme Lou, but they also had adventures obviously outside of that. But it seems like them trying to become cartoon characters, studying under the Looney Tunes, all that's coming back. Acme Looniversity, that's where they earned their Toon degree. The teacher staff's been getting laughs since 1933. I love Tiny Toons. So basically they're doing like a high school / college cartoon series with those Tiny Toons again. Obviously, if you're trying to modernize it, get for that new generation, you know, get lit and all that stuff, this seems like the perfect characters to do it with, and it seems like the perfect premise to do it with. So there you go. This could be a different world. A different world for Tiny Toons. Tiny Toons Looniversity will capture all the clever, subversive, and smart humor that made Tiny Toon Adventures such a standout series. Fans old and new will love to laugh at and with these characters all over again. The original Tiny Toon Adventures ran for 3 seasons from 1990 to 1992 in syndications, the first collaboration between Warner Brothers Animation and Spielberg's Amblin, after it was originally conceived in the late 1980s by Disney animator Tom Ruegger, who would go on to create Animaniacs, which is also returning on Hulu, as well as its spinoff, Pinky and the Brain. So like I said before, Tiny Toons walked so Animaniacs can run. So if Animaniacs is coming back, then the Tiny Toons got to come back too, and I'm fine with it. Will we get that classic theme song? That's what I need to know. Are we gonna get that classic theme song? We're tiny, we're toony, we're all a little loony, and in this cartoony, we're invading your TV. We're comic dispensers. We crack up all the censors on Tiny Toon Adventures to get it just a comedy. So here's Acme Acres to the whole world apart. Our own the sense, a little cartoon work of art. The scripts are rejected, expected, unexpected. On Tiny Toon Adventures is about to start. They're furry, they're funny, they're bad and busted bunny. Much of them makes money. Amira is a pain. There's happening and plucky. This is devil yucky. Furballs and lucky. And Go is insane. At Acme Looniversity, we earn a degree. The teacher's happening in lesson 3. We're tiny, we're toony, we're all a little loony. It's Tiny Toon Adventures. Come enjoy the fun. And now our song is done. Are we getting that? I just want to make sure we're going to get that in the new reboot or something like it. I like Tiny Toons. For many kids, Tiny Toons was their introduction to the world of Looney Tunes, and over time, Buster, Babs, Plucky, and all the characters grew to be just as beloved by an entirely new generation, said Sam Register, president of Warner Brothers Animation and Cartoon Network Studios. The continuation of our great creative partnership with Amblin Television will bring these characters back for fans of all ages to enjoy. Amblin will produce Tiny Toons Looniversity in association with Warner Brothers Animation. Amblin and Warner Brothers Animation will oversee day-to-day on the series. So clearly, eyeballs are being looked on this to make sure this is done right. That it has an updated style, but obviously feels like Tiny Toon Adventures again, but just with a new name and a good new name. I like Tiny Toons Looniversity. I love that they call it Tiny Toons Looniversity because everyone always called Tiny Toon Adventures Tiny Toons. So might as well just go ahead and put it in the title. So we already got an updated look for Buster. Looks like we're gonna have an updated look for Babs. I'm curious what the other update looks are going to look like. I'm curious how many people from the voice cast originally are going to come back. Are they going to use any of the original voice cast? I know that unfortunately the voice of Plucky has passed away, but I wonder outside of that, are you going to get the same voice actors? And then of course you got the Looney Tunes themselves continue to get the Looney Tunes back more and more in pop culture with the new Looney Tunes cartoons, with Space Jam coming out. And now with this, we're going to see a lot of Looney Tunes coming up. We're going to see the Tiny Toons coming up because the Tiny Toons being Space Jam, one can only hope because the Warner Brothers and the Warner sister and Pinky and the Brain being Space Jam. All I'm saying is it is so awesome to see this stuff back. I loved watching this cartoon. Tiny Toons and Animaniacs specifically, like those two cartoons basically created the sense of humor that I have today. Like those jokes and the references and all that kind of stuff that comes out of my mouth on a regular basis. Tiny Toons and Animaniacs were a huge inspiration for that. I remember when they aired the first episode as a primetime special. And then of course there's a direct-to-home video movie, Tiny Toon Adventures, How I Spent My Vacation. So good. Tiny Toons, it was just something I was just a big fan of, from watching the cartoons and playing the video games. I had the animation workshop. I had Buster Bust Loose on Super Nintendo, Tiny Toons on NES. I used to get the Tiny Toon Adventures magazine. I used to get Tiny Toon Adventures stickers. Like anything with the Toons, I was all excited about. When they had that freaking, those 3 people wrote the script for Tiny Toon Adventures Bust and Babs Go Hawaiian, and they actually got it made into an episode. Boy, I was so mad. I was like, I want to write for Tiny Toons. I love this show. But congratulations to them. But anyway, it was just a cartoon I enjoyed so much. And you can watch it, and even though it may not have that same wackiness that Animaniacs has, you can definitely look at Tiny Toons and go, okay, this was definitely the starting block. You learned a lot of things from this that then when you went over to Animaniacs, it just went full force. And you even could tell because they did a couple of Tiny Toons specials after Animaniacs. They did a Tiny Toons Spring Break special and a Tiny Toons Night Ghoulery Halloween special, which I highly recommend. They're both on Hulu right now. But if you watch those episodes, those were made after Animaniacs came out, and you can tell that they were able to put that Animaniacs style humor a little bit more into Tiny Toons. So this makes me very happy to see that they're bringing them back again, because we might see even more of that very wild humor that we saw and loved about Animaniacs now being incorporated even more into Tiny Toons. It always had it, but now they could really go all out with it. Oh yeah, man, it's gonna be so cool. I'm just hoping that all the Toons come back. I want to see Elmira again. I want to see Montana Max again. You know, I want to see Hampton and Plucky and Go-Go Dodo and Furball and Little Sneezer. Choo! Like, I just want all that. Little Beeper and Calamity Coyote, you know, Fifi LaFume and Shirley the Loon. Why'd I go down the whole Baby Plucky. We need some more Baby Plucky too. It's unclear how the rollout pattern will work between linear cable network Cartoon Network and streamer HBO Max, which are also collaborating on an animated Batwheel series. That's a cartoon about a talking Batmobile. The deals represent the latest ways in which WarnerMedia's linear networks are working in unison with companies recently launched HBO Max, as the company looks to bulk up its streaming platform while servicing its traditional outlets. So basically what they're saying here is they don't know what the process is going to be of the show being on HBO Max and also the show being Cartoon Network. Like, will it be a simultaneous thing, or will it air on HBO Max exclusively for a little bit and then eventually the episodes will roll out on Cartoon Network? That's what I kind of see as a possibility. Maybe the entire series launches on HBO Max, has a good time run there for people who are subscribers to that, and then eventually the cartoons roll out episode by episode on Cartoon Network if they can find any time to put it between the 50 airings of Teen Titans Go. But either way, it's very exciting to see this is going to happen. I'm very excited about this entirely. This is so great. I feel like a lot of people don't give Tiny Toons a lot of credit because they want to mix it in with all the other, you know, Yo-Yogis and Flintstone Kids and all that kind of stuff. But if you go back and watch Tiny Toons, they did a really good job of basically making a 90s version of Looney Tunes cartoons, because a lot of the jokes, a lot of humor were very much inspired by the classic Looney Tunes cartoons, even to the point where they have the Looney Tunes and his teachers, but then they were able to sort of make these spins on them to try to hit that, you know, hip current generation. And Tiny Toon Adventures introduced me to They Might Be Giants. So I appreciate them for that always. Istanbul, not Constantinople. Particle Man does everything that a particle can. What's he like? It's not important. Particle Man. There were some other cartoons that were mentioned. Probably the one that people are going to be curious about is Unicorn Warriors Eternal, which is a new animated series from Genndy Tartakovsky, who made Dexter's Laboratory. So that one should be interesting. But yeah, man, Tiny Toons. Tiny Toons are back. Gosh, I'm really more excited about this than I should be. But I am. It's Tiny Toon Adventures, y'all. They're back. Are you excited for this? Are you excited for Tiny Toons to return? Do you want Freakazoid to be next? We got to get Freakazoid back. Super Dude Extraordinaire. Freakazoid. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure you are subscribed to this channel to see all my future videos. I love you like a play cousin. I'm Audi 5000. And now this video is done. Then say goodnight, Babs. Good night, Babs.